Having my second coffee right now.
Oh, good, good, good. I'm just finished with the drinks for today, so
Yeah.
I think we are live.
Okay.
If anybody is watching at the moment, hi, welcome. Thank you for your time. My name is Nikoleta, and as you know, if you are here, subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of stuff about web design, web development, freelancing, and all things tech and business. And today I'm joined by Mauro, who will introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Mauros. I'm a user experience designer. I specialize in designing e-commerce website. I'm currently based in Massachusetts, and I run a small design agency that focuses purely on helping small sustainable brands.
Small sustainable brands. I love the sound of that. And I submitted one form on my community tab like a couple of days, maybe weeks ago, about terrible websites and websites that just need a little bit of user experience attention, touch, and maybe a refresh. And Mauro was so good to submit one website that he came across. And we don't know the brand, we don't know the business. And I'm curious to see what Mauro has to say as improvements and what he will notice on this website as issues. And I will also give my thoughts on the website, and maybe at the end, if we have time or if there are questions in the chat, I will jump on the side and also check the chat. If there are any questions, we can also answer them during the live stream. And after the live stream, I will tag you if there's specific questions later on in the comment section as well. You can find all the links of Mauro in the description. And yeah, basically, we can make it as interactive as we want it to be. And we can jump in Figma as well. And if you have any ideas about certain sections or different page or something, let me know. I was thinking we should focus on the homepage. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things I noticed there. We can start there.
Me too. Do you want to share your screen first and I will put you on the stage?
Yes. Let me share.
I just remember that I didn't put any link on Instagram for the live.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just asked, is anybody coming? But I didn't put where, when.
Oh, okay. I did put a link on my Instagram. I hope someone found it, but
Yeah, you
we can
can
share it later.
you can always tag me for things like that so I can reshare. But today my brain was all
Mm,
over the place.
yeah.
Okay. First maybe we should start with the what do you notice as good and bad, and then give your professional opinion of what can be changed. I believe that would be the best.
All right. So I'll start with one. I'll start with one of the biggest issues that I
Mm-hmm.
see is this website feels very selfish or self-centered.
Oh.
And the reason I say that is when you look at the website, there's a lot of tactics that's about
Mm.
selling, and uh, usually you'll find these things at the end. And one thing, the reason I'm saying that is when it comes to selling
Mm-hmm.
online, each each thing has its own place. So, for
Yep.
example, if I come to a website, the first thing that I don't want to see is return policy or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, or review. I would want to learn about the brand and the products before I go to the return page or anything like that. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why what I'm saying here. And you can see these small sales tactic here where it says 15% off as reward, try home
Mm-hmm.
way before. And as you scroll down, you'll see them asking for your experience, uh,
Mm-hmm.
where they're loved by, way before you even see any products or their product range. And that's one of the main issues that I see here.
Yep.
And also, I would say it's very distracting here.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of a value proposition that you would expect to see right at the homepage in the hero section, they have a bunch of
Yes,
little text here and information that aren't necessary at this stage. So it's very
exactly.
distracting.
Also,
And
for
yeah,
the hero section, do you think it's visually balanced? Do you think it's following that principle of design of visual balance? Do you think is that is well balanced in terms of layout?
the hero section.
Mm-hmm.
So no, because these are just small copy and they're not important here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One thing that I do like about this hero section is
Yeah.
the fact that you can see under it,
Mm-hmm.
so you can see additional text.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting because this creates a sense of when you land on here on the homepage. There's this, I forgot what it's called, but this I think it's a biases. So when
Mm-hmm.
people see something that's not completed, it makes them want to complete it. So they're more likely to scroll when there's this tiny little section showing. So I
Yeah.
do like this part about the hero section, but other than that, I see other issues. If you scroll, you'll see that watches is their main product they sell, but they're showcasing glasses.
Exactly my thoughts.
Yeah, I think this is a missed opportunity. They should focus on their bestseller instead of a secondary product like their glasses
Mm-hmm.
and a value proposition that should.
Also,
But yeah.
Also to add, maybe they're missing a point. Even I think they don't even use the real estate value of that shot that they have with the beautiful model with the glasses. Where is the focus? What
Mhm.
are we watching? The lipstick, the nails? Why this image is not centered so we can see the glasses if that's the product?
Yeah, it might be like the business owner doesn't know this.
Hmm.
Maybe it's on Shopify. You have like these little dots where you can put
Exactly.
where the uh, image, if it's too big to focus on. But
Hmm.
yeah, the glass is way out of shot and it's dead center
Hmm.
too. So it could use some improvement there too.
Absolutely.
And also another thing that I noticed is they position themselves as premium, and this
Hmm.
website does not give that vibe. And
Hmm.
when you're selling a premium product like a watch, the website needs to be premium. It needs to be high
Hmm.
quality, and this doesn't scream high quality or premium
Hmm.
product. People are very biased, and they will infer the product's quality based on the website design. So that first impression is not very good, and it doesn't feel balanced at all, as you mentioned before. There's a bunch
Yeah.
of texts; they all seem centered, and yeah,
The
and
flow is not flowing basically
yeah,
on the home page.
it feels very clunky too. Um,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. No breathing space now that you mentioned between the elements,
mhm,
and it's just like too cluttered. Yeah.
yeah. Also here, it's very distracting because it's hard for people to evaluate each of these watch individually because it has too
Mm,
much distraction. So when you're presenting products on an e-commerce website, it's best to show a clear image like this one where
yeah.
it makes it very easy to tell apart this watch compared to this watch, this watch. You can show
Exactly.
these other packaging image, people wearing the watch, but at the beginning of people landing on your e-commerce website, you need to make it easier for them to evaluate the product
Mhm.
before they choose like, oh, I want to go to this product page and learn about the product.
Exact. Good point. Very good point right there. Like as you said, like to bring back the focus to the product itself, not so much of the styling of the product and how can it look in different environments. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can mention some quick improvements that I would make. I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to
Yeah,
hear.
you can take the stage. Yeah, do it.
Right.
If
So
you're ready.
yeah, I can mention some quick improvements.
Mm-hmm.
I would remove some of these distraction, like this reward. Maybe put it not in the center right there where it grabs my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before, selling online happens in stage. Stage one is all about evaluating the product. So you don't want anything to distract your potential customer.
Mm-hmm.
Rewards and these finer details come after people have shown some interest on your product,
Mm-hmm.
but just
Mm-hmm.
give them the necessary information on the homepage for them to build interest on the product.
Yeah.
So I would remove some of these distraction, that 15% sales. It just kind of it also makes the website feel a bit cheap. Is the first thing
Mm-hmm.
that I see is 15% off on a product that I haven't even learned about. So
Yeah.
yeah,
What
I'll
would you
remove
put
it.
as a message there?
Yeah, I would remove it. I will add a value proposition and
Mm-hmm.
also change this hero section image to the watch. And they I've also noticed they have high quality image, but they're not
Yes.
just using it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a high quality, so I would change this to the watch to show that's the main product they sell. I will remove all of this from the hero section. I mean, from
Mm-hmm.
below the hero. This asking for people feedback. They
Yeah.
don't know your brand, so it makes no sense. I would also remove loved by these brands. You're selling to direct customer. I don't see this doesn't feel very relevant.
Yeah.
Social proof is relevant, but not at this stage. And reviews
Mm-hmm.
like this are more important than where you're featured. I would remove the section two. You can't even press it to go to the product page. The section that I would move all the way up is
Yeah.
either this section where it shows the
Mm-hmm.
product range. This tells people immediately, especially people who are new to your brand, the range of the products you sell, and it also shares that you also sell product for men and women. And it
Mm-hmm.
gives them like
Yeah.
quick, oh, we sell watches, glasses, we do it for men and women.
Exactly. So basically, when the user lands, they will ask like, "What is there for me?" And they can choose between the air eyewear, men's watches, women's watches, and bestsellers. I like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would include this section under the section to give people some idea about the brand. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
as I mentioned before, I would make sure all the image have a white background so it's easy for
Mm-hmm.
people to evaluate the product. And quick note on this image, it's important to not show the person because here the image seems to focus on the person, not the watch.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a quick.
Yeah, it's not a model. What do you think? You
Mhm.
mentioned Shopify, and I saw in the inspect menu that it's some theme, and I will show later when I'm sharing my screen. But do you think this is normal, the jumping of the grid when you hover on different products on a Shopify theme? Is that a normal thing to happen?
Like what the
Yeah, yeah. Is this like an intentional or is it like CSS issue?
when it shows a different image?
Yeah.
Yes, it can be intentional. So there's
Mm-hmm.
like, for example, usually you'll see a product like this with a white background, and when you hover it, it shows a product like this.
But I don't like this jumping.
Well,
It
yeah, it is moving like up and down. Like,
it it it
yeah,
distracts a lot, I
yeah,
believe.
I see what you mean. Yes.
Mhm,
I do think that it's from their part, it's intentional. It's like this tiny little animation, but it doesn't work. As you
mhm.
say, it's distracting. It's kind of annoying when it's just
Too
bumpy
much.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it needs
yeah.
to feel like firm and steady.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then next section. So currently hero section, and then product range, their
Mm-hmm.
watches, bestseller only, or include
Mm-hmm.
only bestseller. Maybe just show only four instead of all of it. This reduces
Mm-hmm.
cognitive load.
Mm-hmm.
And I would start then talking about the brand so people can learn just a little about the brand and give them a link to learn more.
I like
And
that.
and then after that, I would remove everything else and just keep the footer. So it
Mm-hmm.
would be hero section, product range, then their best sellers, and then about the brand,
Mm-hmm.
the footer. Everything else I would remove. That's essentially code.
I like that. I like that. And if you have to choose one image to represent the whole brand in the hero, do you have a favorite one? Maybe you said one of the bestseller watches. Which one would you choose?
Let me see. Um, Ideally, I would choose a branded image, not just like a watch image like this or
Mm-hmm.
image like this. Sounds uh, something that maybe shows the person, maybe the kind of lifestyle they're trying to go for.
Oh, okay.
Because there are premium, so premium brands tend to be a lot about lifestyle and splurging your money or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not about necessity. So something
I
that
see.
feels on brand and shows some kind of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I see
Okay.
it, I'll mention it. But yeah,
What about the menu? What would you do for the navigation?
maybe um, let's see. Best. I think it's good for now. Don't
Mm-hmm.
see any big issues on it besides
Mm-hmm.
this. I don't know why it's highlighted here, but oh, one thing that I would improve upon it is that it shows maybe an arrow on each one to show there's a drop down, the
Mm-hmm.
ones that have drop down, because these are drop down, but there's nothing to indicate that it's a drop down.
I see. Yeah.
So yeah, when it comes to user experience, you always want to uh, create expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about that? I would say also like user panel on the right. Do you think it's too cramped maybe on the
Oh,
right
this here?
corner? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very tight. I'm not sure how it looks on. I don't know.
Mobile.
Yeah, I
Let's
can't
check it
really.
out actually.
Yeah, but I would also remove the search function. Most direct-to-consumer website does not need a search function. As long
Mm.
as the experience is good, people will find everything they need quickly. So
Okay,
yeah,
interesting point. So you don't like the search bar.
yeah, I never like seeing it. It's just one extra element on the hero section, and it doesn't usually serve any purpose. I,
Okay.
I the idea is to have the experience on the website really
Mm.
good, so people do not need to search function. Search function are
Oh,
really
okay.
big, yeah, or for really big e-commerce website like Target, Amazon,
Mm,
um, yeah, those
I
big
understand. Yeah.
websites, not smaller ones. Yeah.
Hmm. And do we know what is the name of this brand? I'm sorry, but I cannot even pronounce it. It's like bunch of letters.
Um, I I don't know. I think that's just something life. I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
the name of the brand or how to say either.
yeah,
Something.
I did invest like a couple of minutes on it, and I was browsing a bit, and even went to their social media. I saw that they have like hundreds reviews on Google, and I'm like, are these bots? How is
Yeah,
this possible?
yeah. If we have a
And
bit of time, I would like to look at the product detail page really quick.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely, go for it as long as you want. Go
yeah,
for it.
because this is on an e-commerce website. This is one of the most important page.
You can
And
even zoom in a little bit if you want on certain places.
oh, okay,
Perfect, yeah.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I'd like to give some feedback here. Also, it's very distracting, especially this section. When
Mm-hmm.
people go to your e-commerce website, sometimes they'll land directly on your product detail page.
Yeah.
If your SEO is really good, they'll end up there. Maybe you're doing like ads or promotion, they'll land here. So the product page also acts as a landing page, so it does need to be really good. And we can start with the image. The images are really good. Um, this should be
Yeah.
first. These are minor, but I want to mention them too.
Mm-hmm.
But the images are really good. These are really good, especially this one and the one that shows the packaging. That's really good. This helps people evaluate the product and kind of this seems like a branded image, so that's really good. I
Mm-hmm.
would remove this one because it just doesn't fit within the aesthetic.
I
And
agree.
you want consistency on your image.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you
It
give the premium high quality look.
and seems also a bit of stretched, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem that it's like a proper focus. And
it looks a
one,
bit distorted. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. And in the buy section here, everything seems too much.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know where my eye doesn't know where to go. And
Exactly.
the add to cart is barely visible unless you hover on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Where do you think the focus is at the moment on this product page?
where people would focus on the product page.
Yeah. What did you notice first?
Um, this part, because there's like so much things grabbing my attention. Red
Mm-hmm.
is very noticeable, so it just kind of brings me in. Usually
Mm-hmm.
people notice image, but because this section is smaller than this, it looks smaller than
Mm-hmm.
the so the left side with the image looks smaller than the left side. And
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a good time to share kind of an advanced e-commerce tactic or idea.
Okay.
Is if you go to Amazon, you'll notice that they have their layout, they have product image, they have the description, and then there's a tiny little uh, horizontal place that has
Mm-hmm.
the price and the buy button.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very intentional
Do you
because
mean the vertical right side?
yeah, where you have the price and the button
Mm-hmm.
buy now and that kind of.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
very small and slender,
Mm-hmm.
while the other side. So the idea behind it is essentially they're saying this is what you get. For example,
Mm-hmm.
these are the product, and this is what you pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So here, because this size feels smaller, it's essentially it's kind of like psychological. I think there's research on this.
Yep.
Um, it's saying that you're getting less than what you're paying for. So if they were
Mm-hmm.
to shrink this side smaller or something like that, and make these image bigger or more noticeable, it will say this is what you get and this is what you pay for.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. So they distort the focus towards the product rather than the price.
Yes.
Oh,
It
I
makes
like
it,
that.
yeah, a lot of sellings, humans are very
Yeah.
biasy, and that's why
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to talk about biases from time to time
Mm-hmm.
because we need to be aware of these and we can use it to our advantage and
Mm-hmm.
to sell better and more effectively. So that's
Yeah.
kind of one idea. So you
Mm-hmm.
want this section to be bigger in terms of the layout compared to
I
this
see.
section.
And would you show more pictures? How would you arrange the pictures in terms of, okay, you have one big wide shot of the product, but you still want to give a glimpse of what else the product looks like? How would you think is best to, for this specific brand, how would you say, is it like the vertical sneak peek or maybe hide it on the bottom, or how would you imagine the gallery looking like here on this page?
So, how to show each individual picture or what kind of picture?
Like the whole gallery. This is now a gallery. Like one is the focus and the rest are on the side.
Mhm.
So would you rearrange that or you will keep it like this?
Um, I'll keep it like that. People are used to seeing this kind of layout.
Mm-hmm.
So in user experience, you generally want things to feel familiar. And
Okay.
because people already, uh, you can't see this kind of a layout in a lot of e-commerce. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people would be already familiar with this kind of layout with the image here. Sometimes you
Okay.
see here or at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a big deal, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So it works here, it works at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And it, the layout, when it's on the right side, when these tiny thumbnail imprint image are on the right side, it is been new because you don't see that often. But on
Mm-hmm.
the left and bottom is very often. And on that note, it just came to me like one way to show to increase confidence in your product, especially tech product, is to
Yeah.
show an anatomical image of this watch. For example, it's
Mm.
like if you can show the pieces of the watch separated, it will
Exactly.
increase confidence in your product.
Yo,
And
I love those. I
yeah,
love those shots when they're under the hood, what is inside, how we put it
precise.
together,
Yes.
how every single bolt inside looks like. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I love that.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
We have a comment on YouTube from Genoveva, loving how detailed and analytical is going.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if they have any questions for me, feel free to ask. And yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, and we'll move quickly. So, um, yeah, I would improve this section. This buy try now is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I would design it in a way that it's still viewable, but doesn't get in the way of you evaluating the product.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing is they have 60-day return, but they don't have it linked or no linked here, or at
Oh,
least
so
I
you
don't.
don't follow up basically with the user. Okay, you give me the option, but how can I use it?
Yeah, you want people to get like the full link to the full uh, return policy, so they read what
Mm-hmm.
your returns is. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people go to the return before um,
They
buying
buy.
the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is social proof is a way people evaluate your product, but it
Yes.
seems this brand is uh, placing a lot of value in social proof, which isn't. I often argue against it, especially on a uh,
Consumer.
direct
Mm-hmm.
to consumer website. Like on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, there's thousands of similar products, and people will look at review. But on a
Mm-hmm.
direct consumer, when you're selling premium, it kind of it's
Hinders the point.
yeah. And also, I do like that they um, answer reviews, but
Mm.
I notice
Yeah.
in one of their lower review where it's three, I don't know, it's a trophy, but trophy instead of, I don't
Yeah.
know why they put trophy instead of star, but in
Yeah.
the three trophy, someone
Mm-hmm.
said a minor complaint, and I noticed how they answer that. And
Mm-hmm.
this for me is an immediately turn off because
Why?
if you read their just um, reply, I'll
Can
read
you
it.
zoom in?
We apologize you're not thoroughly pleased with your uh,
The
product.
brand's name.
After internal review, we found that our communication suite and found a kindly directed you to our visual tutorial via email, and our FAQ link outline how to size your watch as it comes with the tools for sizing. We genuinely thank you for your business. This is super condescending. First of all, it's very technical if you're seeing what they review. So it's like It's not for the elderly. We love the watch, but never would have ordered it if I had known it's complicated to use. I'm
Mm.
a 80-year-old man and had to wait for visitors to visit. Right? They answer in a very
Oh,
jargon, corporate way, very cold,
yeah.
very distant, and instead of addressing it, say we're sorry, we'll make
Mhm.
sure that doesn't happen again. They kind of
Mhm.
opposite direction. If I
Yeah, they
was
were
buying
like
a watch and I saw this, I'm not buying it.
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah. Basically, they said like you should have informed yourself better. It's not our fault. We gave you all the tools. Like, why didn't you manage?
but even if this person was a young person,
Mm-hmm.
it's still not the right way to.
No, the age doesn't matter. This response it's quite unprofessional.
Exactly. And I
Okay.
also saw other inconsistencies. For
Mm-hmm.
example, this says free elite collector's case, but it's asking for $99, so that makes no sense.
Oh my God.
Gifting are really good, and in general, you want gifting to be right at the top in the section, the buy
Or
section. Mhm.
or I would add at the checkout. Depending on the amount of money as a user you're spending, the business will gift you something or will give you options to choose what your gift will be. I love those surprising gifts at the end, and they're truly for free just because I bought something from the business.
Mhm.
But advertising something in advance that is for free and then putting a price under it,
Yes,
it
at
just
the end
doesn't
of
make.
yeah. So there's like that minor inconsistency kind of destroys
Mm-hmm.
people's trust. And
Absolutely.
especially when you're a premium brand, these kind of things are you can't it's not very tolerable, especially
Mm-hmm.
when the website itself doesn't have really good UX. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I don't know why the FAQ is way down here. It should be I would remove this review section all the way to the bottom. That's where
I
people
see.
expected it, and that's where it should be.
Okay, so you will put the review at the very, very bottom and bring up the frequently asked questions.
Yes, I would bring it up and put it right under this section. Ideally, I would create additional section to show the value of this product and
Mm-hmm.
go into more detail. And but that happens once you do some strategy and understand your target audience. And then we'll see what
Absolutely.
section. Maybe it's the craftsmanship, and we want to talk about the craftsmanship of the
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
So a custom section like that. You want these details to be really good. And yeah, um, there's other ideas, but overall, I would say the design of this website isn't there. And
Mm-hmm.
in UX, business goal is important. You want to sell, you want to
Mm-hmm.
use tactic where they're doing discounts, sales, try, they're showing like you can buy in for payment. These are really good tactics to sell. You have
Mm-hmm.
reward. All of these are nice sales tactic, but also user experience is about the person, the visitors. So there's need to be a balance of that on an e-commerce website. And this brand is mainly focused on the business goal, and it doesn't seem that they care about the customers.
Exactly.
Mm,
And also I don't see myself as the user buying this watch because I cannot tell what user persona is behind their idea
mhm.
of selling to, you know. It's like bunch of pictures for of watches, but I don't see like this is who we are, this is for. We
Yeah.
don't even see pictures of buyers that are has bought the watch, so we have only stock images. So also like you said, these reviews are kind of defeating the purpose. So we if it's only your products that you're selling, it doesn't make sense to have them also on this part of the website. And these are outside of customer reviews. What are these?
Yeah, it says RL, customer review. Um,
Aha.
I think these are generally not a good idea.
In
because
real life, they
mm,
mean basically.
yeah, I don't think these are a good idea. The business
Mhm.
owner might be saying, "Oh, we have a lot of social proof," but these
Mhm.
kind of things tend to backfire because a
Mhm.
business owner could easily fabricate these review. Not that
Absolutely.
they have, but
Mhm.
it's important that in the past uh, business owners do have done this. It's for
Mhm.
example, in sustainability, one of the main issues is greenwashing. The reason
Mhm.
people are skeptical of sustainable brand, even really good sustainable brand, is because of all the greenwashing, big brands making claims about sustainability that aren't true, and
Mhm.
this kind of destroy public trust. It's the same thing with these reviews. Uh, because business owners in the past, especially direct to customer, have fabricated these review, people are super skeptical of it. That's why
Yeah.
it's usually best you'll see on e-commerce website, you'll see a third party app implemented. Like this one
Yes.
is a third party app.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
these are good ideas, but these are not good ideas. People are
Mhm.
very distrustful of these kind of ideas, these kind of reviews.
And to go even further, if you ever doubt that some reviews are fabricated,
Mhm.
the text written reviews you can pay for, but there is also market on Fiverr and other platforms where you can pay someone to leave a video review of your product and
Exactly.
services. So they're low paying actors out there
Yeah,
doing the devil's business.
exactly.
So, do your research well, go over every single detail. And if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right.
Exactly.
Okay, do you have anything else to comment on any of the other pages or elements?
Um, Let me see. I should have probably read this before I came to the, but I didn't
No,
because
no problem.
since I focus on sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
um, I would like to give some feedback on here. It's interesting they say luxury on a quick point on luxury. When you position your brand as a luxury brand,
Mm-hmm.
minimalism is
Mm-hmm.
key. Like luxury brand thrive on minimalism. So if you go to a luxury brand like Gucci or Louis Vuitton, you'll notice a lot of white space, very clean design,
Mm-hmm.
minimal detail. That's that's important for luxury brands because luxury brand isn't for everyone. Just like these watches aren't for everyone, you want to create that exclusivity. And
Mm-hmm.
minimalism tend to help you do that. Although minimalism is a what you call a design principle,
Mm-hmm.
you
It
can
is.
use it very effectively on luxury brands. Yeah, just check out some luxury brands. You'll notice how their strategy is very different than the average everyday e-commerce website.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice like things that breaks UX rule too on a luxury brand, so it's very interesting to check it out. But they can get away with it, not other e-commerce
Big
websites.
brands can, yeah, and we can do another live stream either here on YouTube or maybe on LinkedIn. I don't know, whatever place we decide on, and we can talk about luxury brands and good and bad practices, maybe,
Okay,
if that would be interesting.
yeah, that would be really good. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll give my final feedback here.
Yes.
So, with sustainability, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of skepticism. So you
Mm-hmm.
always want to back up your claims.
Mm-hmm.
So these minor details, I haven't read everything here, but these
Mm-hmm.
are not going to cut it. You need detail section. Ideally, you want real life image to show the business owner, where you package in your product, the factories, the workers, the craftsmanship,
Mm-hmm.
all that detail you want to add here. And if you can link to third party website that goes into depth into your sustainability, that's really good. It gives you your website credibility, and it gives your claims credibility too. You never want it to be It's a line. We do good design, and we think about the environment because anyone can make this claim. That's essential.
Yeah.
You want to add substance as much as
Mhm.
possible, but design well and present it well.
Absolutely. But as we mentioned, I don't think this brand cares that much about the community aspect of their business. They're mostly focused on the product and how much they sell, I guess.
Mhm.
Maybe it's not even a main business. It seems like more like a side hustle, patched up here and there, created on the go.
Yeah. Um, I would say the business is heavily focused on the business.
Mm-hmm.
And now realizing care about the customer makes your business more effective.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never a good idea to learn all the. So you can tell just looking at it, this business owner definitely knows a lot of sales tactic, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
very effective. It's not used very
Yeah,
effectively. The UX or user experience needs to be there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oops.
Okay. I removed you, no worries. And not on time, we just loaded, but it's fine. So I guess now it's my time to share my screen. Let me see how I can present. Share screen. Mm, I guess this part. Let me see how does it look. And I want to move you here so I can also see how does it look like
Mhm.
for everybody else. By the way, if anybody has questions, please leave them in the chat. I will look over on the left and check them every now and then. And now we are on the second part of the teardown of the website. And I have been opening this website for quite some time. And unfortunately, here on the preview, full screen layout, can I have it like this? Maybe like this. I just want to say that here on the top of the browser, it says like, hey, stranger, and like the message is shifting to the actual brand name and premium watches, and it's very annoying when you leave the page. And as soon as I left, as you can see, we already have an annoying pop-up.
Okay.
Do you see my screen? You do. And they already asked for my details, but for what? Perks. And what are the perks? I don't know.
Okay.
Exclusives, weekly style tips, and free express shipping on your first. This sentence can be written and visualized so much better. I from this few lines I don't get why would they ask for my information, so I will immediately remove
Yeah,
it.
there's no immediate incentive to subscribe.
Absolutely none. Now, as we mentioned in the beginning, we don't know the business, but I will now critique it in terms of what I see and what can be improved, and later I will give suggestions of for improvements, but these will be general good practices, and what I will actually recommend, it really depends on what problems the actual business have and what problems they're trying to solve, what are their goals, long term and short term, and also what are some ideas that they have about their business and what they're looking to improve. And if there is some flaw that is not working, how through design we can fix that friction and issues. Here is a banner. I don't know if it's visible. Yes, it is visible. With certain messages that are changing too quickly. I cannot keep up with them, and I feel already stressed out because on the left corner something is bugging me, on top something is bugging me, and I cannot keep up with all these messages, and I feel that like I need to escape.
Yeah.
From the chat we have Michelle. Better late than never. Hi guys. Hi. We are
Hello.
here. Leave your recommendations in the chat, Michelle, if you have some better propositions for redesign, or maybe some ideas, let us know. Or something that you hate about this website, also let us know in the comments. So here, for example, first the whole brand, the focus is on the brand, but I cannot spell the name, I cannot see the name. And like you said, Mauro, there's so many confusing buttons here. Like, I noticed the chat, it took my attention, and I'm like, okay, but I don't want to chat right now. What is this? There is some app, some QR code, like so chaotically placed rewards. From accessibility standpoint, I can barely read this top message. I want it, but I want what? Advance your membership. This whole thing is not presented very well. Like, I would put this because it's visually very well placed in terms of visual explanation, and I would move it up and make it more clear and short, because at the moment is so many things happening. Like, we have become a member, but then you buy over 150, but buy over 200. It's just like, and it's powered by AI, and it's just like, this is not the right position of this button, in my opinion. I would put it somewhere as a section rather than like this hovering on the website, so it doesn't distract the
That's
user.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Correct.
And as you can see, it's also hovering some of the on the main message here on the here section, and just it doesn't fit, in my opinion. Here I would make more space, definitely, between the user profile, the search that you don't like, and also the currency. I appreciate it, actually, and as a European, if I like the brand, I would love to see that, but also I wouldn't notice it on first. I would probably miss it if I was not looking at the actual website in detail.
Mm.
The menu, yeah, maybe the drop down would be, I would make it a mega menu, like more fixed, not like this, because it is smooth, but I don't know. It's
It doesn't
like,
feel high quality. Like
exactly,
very simple. It's like, yeah.
it doesn't match the brand, in my opinion. I think there is so much better options of creating a proper navigation for the user, and I would probably rename it. Like, I would remove these collections and make a section to introduce them somewhere down below,
Mm.
right? So if the focus is on the watches and the bestsellers and the eyewear, I would just leave these three for simplicity and minimalism.
Mm.
Brand, honestly, I would probably rename this maybe to our story,
Yep. Or
and then, or about, yeah, because this is so generic.
yeah,
Even
you can
Google,
also
I'm sure.
add a sustainability link to that. I just noticed.
Yeah, they do.
No, I say you could also add like sustainability. If you call it about, you can have story, sustainability,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
remove
definitely.
that review section. There's a lot of focus on reviews, so remove that.
I'm telling you, they're doing everything all at once and trying whatever, how they call it, spaghetti on the wall, whatever sticks,
Yeah.
and see what
They're
happens.
trying to show a lot of social proof because business owner, you'll hear social proof, social proof, social proof. But you have
Mm-hmm.
to think about it from your customer point of view.
Yeah.
Social proof, especially on a direct to customer site, is not
Yes.
as effective.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to mention, that I would probably make this message way bigger, way bigger. And this tiny asterisk here, maybe I should zoom in if it's visible, with frame purchase.
Mhm.
That's probably very important message for some buyers. But also there is some jargon here that I'm not sure if this is the place to be, like use FSA, HSA benefits for our designer eyewear and premier lenses. Are these some kind of US um, health companies.
Yeah, I think those are like payment methods, or yeah,
Ah.
I think they're selling. I'm not sure. I didn't look at the
Mhm.
site in detail, but I think they sell for subscription. So I think that's
Ah, okay. This is such a huge advantage that you can present so much better rather than having this small tiny message here on the corner.
yeah, it's barely
Okay.
visible.
Yeah. And here, as you can see on my uh, desktop, I barely can see the glasses. Do you see that?
Yeah, it's out of frame.
Yeah, it's so cut out. On my device, it's not even visible. And probably if they have used that feature that you said in Shopify with the
Uh,
focus with the
yeah,
dots, that would work so much better if they
yeah,
put
they
it
can
on.
move it right at the top of the glasses, and I will show the image down.
Yeah, absolutely. Michelle says, yeah, the icons in the top right could definitely use more space. Also, the header's hover state isn't as intuitive either. With that underline, the gap between the main button and the drop down. Right? Like it's
Those
not
finer
belonging.
details super important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everything seems like too separated or too much together is like out of balance completely.
yeah.
And this seems to be a button, but it's not a button, it's just like an effective text box. So all in all, this doesn't give me answers to my questions. Who is this? Like is what is this brand about? What is it for me? And why should I stay? I don't get any of these answers on first glance. And I honestly, if I come across this website, I would just do this. Okay, and I will move and I will get out because I will not see anything. Mm, when on 100%, let me refresh again. Yeah, it's still the same. It looks
Yeah.
quite big.
On that note, a lot of
Yeah.
business owners forget that when someone's looking for a product, they're also looking at other competition. So
Mm-hmm.
if you, that's why your design needs to be really good, because it's easy for them to just close it and just leave. This is not a like, in-store uh,
Purchase.
shopping center.
Yeah.
Yeah, people can easily leave a website and go to
What
a
I I don't know how you do it, but I have Google opened, and I have couple of websites from stores from here in Croatia. I have some stores in Bulgaria as well, and that's how I shop for even my phone. I will be looking so many marketplaces that until I make my decision, and it will take a lot of time. So I'm that analysis based buyer that I just need to do my homework before I buy something. And I'm really conscious about my purchases because I want them to be once and sustainable. I don't like pollution. I don't like littering. I don't like hoarding stuff. I'm very minimal about what I buy. So I'm really intentional with my purchases. And for me, I don't have problem researching more in
Mhm.
order to get what I want and need. So that's one thing also to mention. How do you shop? How do
Me?
you? Yeah.
Pff, usually I don't buy products.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do shop, I tend to find it. Uh, I judge based on aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So mine is very intuitive. Usually, I would find a brand where I'm not shopping for a product that's. Let's take Allbirds because that's where I bought the shoes recently.
Mm-hmm.
It was over a year ago. I was looking, since I was a designer, I look at website to see, their strategy, what
Yeah.
makes them good. And Allbirds was designed by a really, I would say, legendary design
Mm-hmm.
studio. So I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at their work and I found Allbirds, and I was
Ah,
so impressed about the design of it because I'm a
okay.
designer. I was love the design. It was a new brand too. I love how they present everything. It was so aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
All the information was there. And
Mm-hmm.
I went to their sustainability website. They
Mhm.
were in detail. They map out everything. I love how they made their shoes, and that impression stuck with me for so long that years. It took me years before I bought shoes from them, but I knew that if I need shoes, that's the brand for me. And so I
Oh,
went and I bought shoes from them.
I
And
see.
yeah, usually I would find brands, but I won't buy from them. But if the experience is really good, and yeah,
No hesitation.
yeah, yeah. I don't
Same.
compare products much. So
Mhm.
if I look at the aesthetics based on the image, if it's
Yeah.
high quality, I know the person put a lot of effort into it. So I
Mhm.
check it out. If it's good and the right price range, I'll just buy it.
Yeah, same here, but in terms of experiences as well, when I see that in services, experience in services, when I see that something is really thought out and curated properly from the beginning until the end, I'm talking social media to the way you serve your coffee and how you greet your customers and how you accommodate them in the coffee shop. I will buy and buy and buy, and I will come and come and come many,
Exactly.
many, many times.
That's why user experience is so, so important.
Extremely, extremely important because it lasts for much longer than one time purchase.
Yep. And because a lot of people don't buy on the first try, sometimes people will casually be browsing product. But if
Mm-hmm.
the experience was there and the first impression was really good, people
Mm-hmm.
will remember your brand and say, "Hey, that brand, they had a really good product. Let me check them out." They left an impression on that person, so people will come back. But
Exactly. And I think all of us has something like in our heads like, I need bio products. That's my go-to place. I will go there because I remember them and I have them imprinted in my mind as my go-to place for bio products, for example. Or like you said, the shoes. That's where I will go. Like I have the money, I'm just going straight there. And for this website, we commented on the overall hero section. Here, these messages, I also would put them in a separate section right here under. I wouldn't fight for the attention here on the first glance. I would leave the focus on the menu and the product. Like you said, maybe some of the best sellers would be best here to be presented, like some of the watches or whatever the business aims to advertise the most, I assume. And all this here, pay now, pay later, free home try on, virtual try on. I can see a lot of potential in all these messages here that can be represented way better in the sections below. Free shipping, that's also good. And I see here a minor inconsistency yet again, that there is an overlay of black, but it's ending somewhere here. Can you see it?
and they hear where.
Yeah, in a this small, maybe 2 pixels.
Oh,
I
I get it. I see it now. Yeah, I know what
yeah,
you. Yeah, there's
yeah,
a black overlay, but the image is seems cut out, and it's like,
yep, yep.
yeah,
So this tells me a lot. This tells me this business owner just bought a template from Shopify, and they basically how do I say, they just put it together by themselves. They didn't invest any money in hiring someone with knowledge and expertise in design to help them build this. And I'm 90% sure that this is DIY'd or created by a couple of designers just picked from somewhere and fixed separately.
I like.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I was gonna say that this business owner definitely knows and cares a lot about selling. So if he actually knows the power of user experience designer, he would
Hmm.
definitely invest in that because there's a lot of return on
Hmm.
user experience.
Yeah, definitely. And if only they know that doing it right saves so much time and
Mm,
efforts and the investment that you invest in proper design practices will pay off so much ahead.
Yeah.
They will never do the same mistakes. Another thing, I don't know if you noticed, but I have this problem. I cannot open my contextual menu. The right click doesn't work here. For example,
To see
I
the version and responsive version.
Mm?
To inspect the website.
Yeah, I'm trying, but doesn't open my context menu. And
Yeah.
what I wanted to mention is that if I want to translate this website, if I'm not a native English speaker, but I do like the product, I cannot do that. So I have to go here in my other side of the menus, and let me see, where was it? Was it settings?
Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
inspect it either. I
Um,
notice in rare cases, I can't do that with certain e-commerce website.
More
I'm not sure if
tools,
it's a
developer
feature or
tools.
not.
I think here we can see. Do you see now? I
I
think
guess.
it's not visible on the. You can only see the actual website. Okay, maybe if I present the whole window, maybe.
Hmm?
Present share screen. A window. How that will look like. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Mm-hmm. So, what is this? Like, I have never seen so cluttered.
Yeah, it doesn't look responsive.
And this text here from the team, I bet it's loading like so much like trash to the website code. It's just like, why?
What is that?
I don't know, some numbers that create the booster team kind of logo or word mark. I'm not sure.
Oh, so wait, is that a company? Like, is that
I
a
think those
brand?
that created the team, yeah, booster team, yeah.
Why? I,
I don't know. You ask me,
I
but I
mean,
don't
only
know.
designers would see this, so or
Yeah,
developers.
yeah. I don't know why they did it because they are so proud of the team, I guess. But if I Google booster team, what will happen?
Booster
W-
T-
Yeah,
Themes. I thought I said.
booster.
Mm,
Sorry, booster team. Shopify maybe. Yeah, Shopify. Mm,
Booster
version
Team.
7. I guess they create teams and that's their brand. Okay.
So they create Shopify themes.
Yeah, and different elements, I guess. Okay. Okay. Got it. But yeah, let me reload and see if it is actually responsive.
Um,
Does it even change? Let me change it to iPhone 12 Pro. Interesting. The menu came to the left. The app is still on top, but they kept the search. Okay. The again with this pop-up and the menu, how does it look like? Okay, no, not bad.
mhm.
But when I clicked on it, where does it expand? Here. Okay, and see that button again hovers on top of the menu and it messes with my selection because I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
better if it's anchored to the bottom, all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, or just not the absolute. What is was it absolute position? Just make it stick somewhere, not to be on
Mm.
top of everything. And here the focus is much better of the image. Maybe they were aiming for more like a mobile friendly version of their website. I don't know, but
Um, even if the mobile experience is responsive, there's,
mm-hmm.
there's still a lot of user experience issues. Same problem, the same issues that we cover on the website translate to mobile. very
Absolutely.
focused on the brand itself and the review.
Mm-hmm.
If the experience isn't on a desktop, it's not going to be on mobile. Mobile
Absolutely.
does require a little bit uh, extra consideration, but the
Mm-hmm.
overall experience needs to be there first to refine that mobile and say, oh, we can remove this on mobile. It just doesn't need it. But even if it looks good, the image looks good, it still doesn't fix a lot of the UX issues that we cover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And since in web design everything cascades or falls down from desktop to mobile, whatever is done on desktop will be inherited in mobile version as well. So that's also important note. And like I said, I also clicked it and what submit. Oh, now it gave me the option to submit the feedback. Okay, because once I did the 5 stars, they didn't ask me for anything.
Oh yeah.
But now they do. Tell and tap. Okay, and they use a lot of how to say shortening, like abbreviations and slang. Tell and tap. Like, who are you selling to? Teenagers? Influencers?
If they're clear on their target audience and their target audience like slang and short things, they can go for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true, you do need to know your target audience well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as you can see now, that review section disappeared completely.
Yeah.
So I assume it's like an integration of an app or something, and after it's used once, is like disappeared or hidden or something like that. Hmm. And loved by maybe because they have like their name, the brand name, and life. They want to make a statement like, oh, there's like this huge institutions in terms of fashion and what is essence cosmetics. GQ is like popular, also Forbes. They like our products, so we definitely feel
Yeah.
into the luxury lifestyle, I guess.
I never get when you showed on Forbes keyword. This
Mm-hmm.
was important when you're an entrepreneur and
Mm-hmm.
your this website is about you as an entrepreneur and not selling to a
Mm-hmm.
customer. This doesn't bring any valuable value to your target customer. They don't care. It's not important. And
If
yeah,
the focus was on B2B, like to businesses,
yeah.
to market to businesses, like maybe like they have like down here the gifts and the boxes. If that's like a corporate presence, or you have some kind of idea of how to sell it to businesses with much higher prices, I think this would be very much necessary social proof.
Yeah.
And
Make it less standoffish too. It's very big in your face, and they're saying like, "Look where we've been."
exactly, exactly. And I think it comes with the like it's not a silent luxury, it's almost like trying to be as flashy as possible.
It's like for me, it's giving try hard instead of being
Exactly.
subtle.
Mm-hmm.
You have social proofs, yes. Like you can say, it's like it's a principle. These things tend to be principle. Even in life, if you're trying too hard and you say, "Oh, I have this watch, I have this Ferrari," people will say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, you're insecure," or they'll say stuff about you. And the average everyday customer won't come to your website and say, "Oh, this person seems pretentious," or "This brand seems."
Mm-hmm.
They'll just leave. It's like subconscious thing that happen. We as
Yeah,
designer notices it and say, "Oh, this design could be improved here. There's this issues." But a regular customer are looking for a product. If you don't give them what they need, they just leave.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. Because we are now nitpicking and spending so
yeah.
much time on the
We're
website.
being very yeah. Details.
Just because we want to make a point of how many best practices we can find on a single page, actually, not the whole website, just a single page. But truly, like I said in the beginning, all these bombarding messages will put me off and I will just immediately leave. I will not even take the time to read all this stuff.
Yeah.
And again, here, inconsistency between what is connected to what. Is this New York Weekly connected to all these other logos, or is it separate? Anyway, the button here is way too huge. The accent here, I assume, is on the name, just because the price, it's like kind of fading here, and it's just like so imbalanced that I don't know where to look and what to check first. And like you said, it would be so much better if they have this, like a main image, like just the wristwatch, nothing else. Maybe the second picture to be automatically showing me behind the scenes, like what is inside. Or like the review mentioned from that elderly person, maybe, how do you call it?
Tutorial for the
Yeah, maybe
um,
just how the buckle looks like and how I can put it on, and is it like a clip?
mm,
Is it like with clasp? Is it with like a hole, like with a wood and not wood, sorry, leather? You
mm,
know, this is a good video, but turn it around. Let me see the product. Like, you don't give, yeah, you're giving me information, but you're not giving me information,
mhm.
basically. So
On
even if
that,
I
yeah.
Mhm.
No, I
What?
was just gonna mention something on the name. So if they put a like a dash before the color of it,
Mhm.
so they have watch and rose, gold slash red. If they can put like slash, I don't know what you call it, M dash, that would
Mhm.
make it easier for people to read. To yeah,
Yeah,
makes it easier
and
for people to know the color of it.
exactly, watching rose gold red. Yeah, and also maybe wrap the text on two lines. Like right now we have like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven elements that we have to scan over, and every single capital letter makes it even more difficult for me to read. So why not separate the two, maybe break down the text, make it more scannable? That's one of the main principles as well in UX, like make the copy easy to
Mhm.
scan. We don't have that much time to spend on a single section in real life, right? We just scan. If we don't find the answer, we just leave. And yeah, it's just
Is there any
not.
question from the audience?
I'm just checking, yeah, but it was from the interface here in StreamYard, but I already saw them and read them. But yes,
Oh,
guys, if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below, or suggestions if you also
yeah.
have some ideas. Like we said, these reviews here are completely useless because there's no visual. There's just like, I don't know, made up reviews. And this indication here, like you said, the trophies that are empty, they don't indicate good or bad. It's just indifferent. This doesn't give me any reason why I should read this. Like, is it this 5 stars? Is it good? They didn't leave a star review. Like, it's not familiar. Like you said, people like to be familiar with things, and this just confuses me. And too much slang in real life. NCMPRBL. This
Yeah,
doesn't
it
mean
comes from
anything.
outside instead of something more trustworthy, like third-party review app.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, definitely. And for you, him, them, and her. I like this section if it was just like this, like 4 products and showing the you, the him, them, and her.
yeah, that's a good idea. A good,
And
good way to inspire people.
yeah, and make the text bigger, like, and if that's important part, 36 millimeters, I guess, in 40 millimeters mesh watches. If that's important message, also put it up, like bring it the section up and start the shopping experience much earlier. and maybe not focus on one but on the categories, and then from those categories break it down to most loved, like we said. That's also a good option here. If you're a first time customer, that would be immediate, like, okay, there is something for me, for my partner, maybe for my best friend, and maybe for someone special, there is like very very good potential in this section. And this one, if I see this first, I will be like, wow, this is a premium website. Here there is something in on this page.
You always want to show people the range of products you are selling very early on in their
Yeah.
buying experience. So yeah.
And like you said, the consistency in the images would be great if it was like this tonality, or maybe this warmness to follow as a filter on the images, on the product images everywhere, or at least the models to be consistent as well. That would also make it seem like, okay, they paid for the photo shoot, they really take real product pictures. It's not just like a stock image,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Let me see closer. This is supposed to be the print of their brand.
Yeah, their image, I would say, is pretty good. It's just the execution on how they're showing it.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
And when they say brand, who is
They're
behind it? It's pronounced incomparable.
incomparable.
Oh my god.
In,
What does it mean?
incomparable. I think they meant like high status kind of idea.
Like without compromise?
Um, I think they just meant like it's kind of luxury speak, and
Okay.
it can work well for luxury brand where you're uh, kind of distant and
Mm-hmm.
cold. So your language tends to be distant and kind of weird. But
Okay.
although I can see certain things that are doing really well, like the image, their bizarre, their language that's not very common, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the execution on how they do it, the design, all of it
Visually,
just
yeah.
works against it. And it doesn't make the message, the brand name, the vibe stand out. But
Yep.
they do have a little things here and there that's really good. And if yeah, and they have some selling tactic that can be really good. And the try on has a lot of potential, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the execution of the overall, it's not there, which means
Mm-hmm.
visitors won't be able to know what your brand fully offer because the user experience is not there. This is
It's so
kind of what
true.
happens. Yeah, this is kind of what happens when you focus on business goal and selling, but not your customers.
It feels just inconsistent and
Mhm,
not complete. Like I said, like patched up business model. Like they have been putting pieces together, not like having a plan. Today we're going to build this page so it has this kind of flow.
mhm.
And it shows, definitely, it shows. This designed in Houston. I would like to see somewhere like a proper like
Section.
yeah, section with a heading like where we are from and where we are made, like something like use the
Mhm.
lingo, make some catchy copy, use a copywriter help, and make this stand out, because this is really valuable message, like where you're from, and you can get a lot of support just from your area. Like, because it's Houston based product, I know people who support Houston based and black owned businesses. So why not make it more prominent here?
I just noticed something. I didn't read it precise. They have subtle simplicity, sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
Although their product, the watch, are
Yeah.
nicely designed. I like the aesthetic of the watch. The website isn't there, meaning when you go to this website, you don't think of them as subtle, simple, sustainable. That's why when I say like people infer products quality based on the website design
Mm-hmm.
and experience on the website. People are very biased. They do judge a book by its cover, and the website is the cover, and your product is on
Exactly.
the pages.
Well said, Mauro. Good job. Look at you. Your brain is still working.
Yes, still early, and I just
Yeah.
had my second coffee.
That's why you are like already ready for the couple of more comments that are
Yes.
following. We are almost done, by the way. I don't have much more to say, but yeah, definitely, if this is what you stand for, but your website doesn't show it on your doorstep, which is the homepage, then you're lying to us. You're lying to the users, and here you lose the mistrust, because if I cannot find what I'm looking for really simply and easily, and you as a brand don't seem very subtle, like this first image and then the next one is not subtle at all, then you don't fit these claims that you are making. Mm, this seems to be something like a Pinterest gallery, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's called. If you scroll a little bit up,
Inspired
what?
by style editorial. What
I
does
think
it
it's
mean?
up. Oh, scroll down. I don't know. Yeah, I think this is inspired. So I think they're trying to create a collection here to give you some ideas. Like, hey, we have these. I don't know if you press on one of it and see if it's work. Okay. Yeah, I think that's they want to give you some ideas of product. And
And I'm disappointed with the stretched image of a watch that has two reviews here using these trophies that I have also scarcity here, which is a very dark UX, like 7 left in stock. Like, why would you pressure me like that? I don't care. Now 6 are left. Yeah, they're buying by the second. Come on, dude. Stop the cap.
stop the cat.
Now are 5. Look at
The
that.
young
Oh
ones.
my god. I wonder what will happen. Do you think it will get sold out right now while we're still here on this page? Because this is
Uh,
what they're
oh,
doing
it's
here.
going down. I
Yeah.
don't think so. Um, these are kind of sales tactic. I think as I mentioned before, the business owner does seem to learn a lot about sales
Mm,
tactic and strategy, and he's trying to implement them all in the website. But a lot of the time, especially for luxury brand, these kind of sales tactic makes you look cheap. These kind of
mm-hmm,
tactics are mainly for discounted items that have a lot of competition. If you want
mm-hmm.
to position yourself as premium, wants quality, you're different than the everyone out there.
Yeah,
These kind of sales tactic just says the opposite. You want your
exactly.
price to be, for example, right here they have 535, that's euro.
Mm-hmm,
95, that's
mm-hmm,
strategy you use for items that are common. For a
mm-hmm,
luxury brand, you can go for serious price, just say $500,
mm-hmm.
00, because
Rounded
people,
numbers.
yeah, people who are buying this product at that price are not worried about price. They're not
Mm-hmm.
that price conscious. They might think about price, but if you're going to spend that kind of money in the watch, you have money to spend on the watch. So you
Exactly.
want everything to feel high quality, high status, because that's what you position your brand as. So you want
Exactly.
everything, yeah.
And here you talk us out from buying right there, because you say it's a bestseller. Okay, you give us the name, you give us only 2 reviews, and you give us this confusing price that it's like I have to calculate, is it 36? Is it 40? How much is it? Make it around, like make it 500, make it 600, make it 550 even. I'm even okay with that. Like you said, you're playing small money when you add the 95 here at the bottom. Like this is not needed. And this red bar leaving me only with one in stock is such a manipulative way of pursuing the customer to buy. And what you do here is you don't even put the add to cart or add to bag button close to this. You just put it one more hurdle between this and this, which is like if you do manipulate the user, at least do it properly and more like easy. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
very
like
visible too.
ah, it's just like why? Very off-putting, honestly. And there has been some kind of review that it was redacted.
It's probably a
Okay,
bad review.
probably. And as you can see, there is no spacing, margin, or whatever. I don't know. Does it look that bad on your screen as well?
Yeah, it's end to end. There's no padding on it. So when they integrated the app, they
Oh, I see.
maybe they didn't think about the padding or consider it. So it's just end.
Mm-hmm. And also, this image here already looks grainy as a close up, and I'm sure that that's not the real how it's called image of the product, or is it a mock-up? I'm not sure. It just doesn't look good on this. This looks okay, but it doesn't seem that it is their watch. This one seems more like their watch, but this one looks like too grainy in my opinion. And then this one is too dark, and the focus, I'm not sure where it is. Is it the beard or the jawline or the earring, or you know, they have a lot to do in terms of a product photography. And here what they try to do is like make a blog section maybe. What do you think?
I kind of just ignored that section. I haven't read. I ignore things that doesn't seem important to me.
Yeah,
I think it's a blog section. Why do you?
yeah, recent posts they
Oh
try
yeah,
to do.
yeah,
The SEO, they're trying to fight for some Google ranking, I guess.
yeah.
Oh my god,
It
if the
just
owner
seems like added at the bottom, so it's easy
something
to
like a last
ignore when
minute,
things feels like that.
like last minute choice. But if the owner of the brand by any chance sees this live stream,
We're being harsh.
I'm sorry, but we're just giving our unfiltered opinion. And if you need help, you can always contact us, and we can definitely have a discovery call, and I call them also therapy sessions, and really go through what went wrong and how we can make it right.
Yeah, sometimes brands do have some good quality to them,
Of course.
as the presentation of it is not as
Mm-hmm.
good. So those good quality get buried. So
Mm-hmm.
when the designer's talking about it, we tend to like, ugh. Yeah. But yeah,
And let me see. Do you see my Figma? No, you don't see my Figma. But uh, okay, let's see what I can also show. Basically, we would redesign the whole thing. Let me see my Figma for a second. If I have any ideas what to do here. I think for free we did enough with the critique, and doing the redesign it will be too much of work of the
yeah,
actual
I think
website.
just feedback. We did mention some improvement and
Yes, maybe
um, layout
also
and
to
hierarchy.
mention. Let me see. I wanted to mention also the conversion pilers. I had them here as a list, like the relevance. How relevant is the messaging, visuals, and overall experience of your site based on your traffic sources, target audience, and product? Exactly. We don't know who is this relevant to because I don't see one single um, user persona. If the owners are the type of people they're trying to sell to, I guess that's what they try to do with the whole design,
Mhm.
right? So
Maybe
if
the
they like
target audience are younger people, or uh, yeah, I would say kind of like their age, the image you see there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because I
See,
think that's the image of the owner. If you go, yeah, that's the owner. And
mm-hmm.
yeah, I think it's someone people are around his age. And
But
mm,
this woman could be somewhere from her early 20s to her mid 30s. I
I'm
cannot
good
tell.
at age, so I can't tell so how old someone is.
Yeah, and he could be somewhere from also 20, mid
Yeah, he
20s to
looks very young
40.
here.
We don't know. We don't know who is the target audience here, and the lingo that they use also it's not making it clear because they use like a very how to say abbreviations and lots of like
Mhm.
yeah. It's just like it's not
Yeah, the
very.
target audience makes a lot of difference, makes a big difference in how you
Mhm.
communicate, the tone you use. If they, I'm not sure how well they know their target audience and if they were
Mhm.
keeping it in mind. If
Yeah.
they do know the audience and say, oh, we're selling to people like the owner, they're, young, they go to clubs, they're
Mhm.
affluent, they care about high status, they're high
Mhm.
entrepreneur. Maybe they know that, but instead of thinking about the website as a product, because I think a lot of business owners do not think of their website as a product. They say,
Mhm.
oh, our product is really good, let's grab a template, throw it
Yeah.
in, and I heard about this sales tactic. I heard about this sales tactic. Let's throw it on the website. And they don't consider the perception it gives off. And
Yeah.
eventually it kind of becomes a mess. And it becomes, oh, how will we achieve our business goal? Should we drive more traffic?
Mhm.
The conversion is not there. And one of the main reasons the conversion might not be there is because they're not communicating directly to their target audience.
Exactly. There is like they get lost in their translation. As we mentioned in the beginning, we don't know what the focus is, what is the main product, like who they're talking to. We just don't speak their language, and ultimately we may not be their target audience, but even if we were, it's not they're not speaking clearly to one specific user persona.
It doesn't feel consistent, like where you can,
Exactly.
because you
Exactly.
can sort of deduce who their target audience is by how they
Mm-hmm.
communicate, all the picture, but there's some inconsistencies here and
But
there. And you can say their target audience might be this, but also it might be because you can segment people very differently. Even
mm-hmm.
if someone locks your young audience, but they might be rich young audience and entrepreneurs. And yeah,
Which watch did you click on that they had like 8-year-old buyer?
go up,
Mm-hmm.
up, up. I believe it's the first one.
This one.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I think that's the one.
it's not really easy to make a not for the elderly. I love the watch, but the life for the it had not complicated. It was yeah. I
Mhm.
it doesn't. What are the specifics that they give here? The limited release features like ultra thin black face, advance your wrist with a quick release black Milanese mesh bracelets offering both style and sophistication for any look. Expertly handcrafted. Hmm. It doesn't give much information for the product itself. It's one sentence.
Yeah,
Two.
one thing that I would love to see in this product is the craftsmanship on
Mm-hmm.
this brand with premium. When there's a bunch of watch and there's a lot of people selling watches, you gotta
Mhm.
show what makes you different right away. And
Mhm.
craftsmanship behind the product is very important because everyone's craftsmanship and process tends to be different. So that's
Mhm.
kind of a way to differentiate yourself, your process.
Absolutely. And on the second pillar of conversion, trust. Is your website doing enough to gain the trust of the audience to get them to buy? What can you do to improve this? Well, trust, my trust, they don't definitely don't have, but definitely they can trick other people to buy. That's obvious with the reviews and everything else that we saw. But are they trustworthy? I don't know. For me, it's too inconsistent to say so. Do they have your trust
My
as a
choice?
buyer? Yeah.
Oh, um, I personally, I used to like items like rings and watches,
Mhm.
but I don't
Mhm.
buy accessories anymore.
Mhm.
But in terms of trust, I would say I'm I tend to have no feeling towards, so I'm not like, for example, when I look at this website, I can say, oh, it looks bad because of my experience, what I know works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
can say on an objective level that no, they don't have my trust. But because I was looking at it and I saw that review about
Mhm.
the video, I lost immediate faith in this brand because I know, because I can have empathy for the business owner and say, oh, they're not website designer. They don't have our expertise. They don't
Mhm.
know user experience design or why e-commerce. A lot of business owner makes these mistake. But the
Yeah.
moment that you kind of condescend people, even if you didn't mean to,
Mhm.
uh, it for me personally, I do not tolerate that kind of behavior. So it's like if I was interested in this watch, it would have been a no, just based on that one review, nothing.
Okay. But in
Even if it
general,
looks good, even if the website was good and I
mhm.
saw that review, it's like no,
Exactly.
no for me.
That's where the brand guidelines come. The tone and voice of the brand.
Yeah,
They
always treat
obviously,
people with respect and kindness. Like
yeah.
even if someone was like trashing your brand, like we're
Mhm.
kind of doing, but be nice to them. And
Yeah. But
yeah,
that's again, I think they haven't seen that as an yet another opportunity to um, save the day and not only change the opinion of that buyer, but also the opinion of other buyers. And like you said,
mhm,
they lost one more potential client based on that response rather than gain the one that was already in some kind of pain and then lose yet another and maybe who knows how many that are also read that the same review. So based on visual design and appearance, in terms of conversion, they do not have the trust, I believe,
mhm.
like long-term trust in the brand and in the products. The orientation, the third pillar, is how is the flow of the website, the navigation bar, and the actions on the path to purchase? Well, they seem to be like fairly straightforward, but also not very prominent. So they have potential, and that's what I'm going to say. And maybe it would be nice to see the prices here rather than me clicking to the image and then checking it out. And in terms of orientation, I would like it also, like you said, maybe have like only two, three, and then only two rows, or just in general four products and no more. You know, two by two, even it would be great and will create more premium, luxurious feel rather than having like a whole marketplace here, right?
Yeah, you don't want to overwhelm people. That's why you want to show the image with a white background so it's easy to evaluate each product.
Mm-hmm.
Never overwhelm. If you like take one principle from this video is do not overwhelm people at all. And yeah,
We will make that as a comment. Do not overwhelm.
yeah, we can do a summary too and
Yeah,
the things that we talked about.
definitely. In terms of stimulation, which is the fourth point, is your website lacking strength to motivate people to buy? No, it doesn't. They have too much stimulation, in my opinion. Do you have the right calls to action? Mm, maybe if the lingo was towards that user persona at the bag, not the cards. And do you have the right calls to action? Is it generating the emotions needed to providing all the information a customer would expect? Well, no, there's lots of mixed emotions when we browse this website. So I would definitely say the stimulation here is very chaotic. It's like not intentional. So if they were caring about um, that premium feel and look, they would really pay attention on what is where and how is it positioned and how is it worded. So in my opinion, the stimulation is misused, I guess.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, they're not focused and they're not implementing their value that they mentioned before. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a subtle simplicity and sustainability,
Yeah,
all that
that's it.
value and principle should be on the website too. It's not very focused. And like, I don't blame the business owner.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I would assume they don't know this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, the website is a product, and those principles you mentioned needs to be implemented on the website, not just the product.
Mm-hmm. The fifth is security. Do people feel safe buying from your website? After I saw that scarcity bar running out of items, definitely. I don't like to be manipulated, rushed, forced, and like I don't like to have pressure and anxiety added to my already anxious buying experience. So this for me was definitely a red sign, and I was like, oh no, this is not my place. I don't feel safe, and I don't feel like I will ever give my details away. What do you think?
Um, Personally,
Yeah.
I'll say things from my personal perspective because I
Mm-hmm.
know this is a Shopify website. I don't
Mm-hmm.
distrust it with my credit card, mainly because I know as a Shopify, and Shopify is a trustworthy platform.
Mm-hmm.
And if other people are familiar, because when you look at a Shopify, you can tell it's a Shopify website. It's
Mm-hmm.
very distinct. It has that Shopify feeling to it.
Yes, yes,
So
definitely.
from a personal perspective, I would say yes. And
Mm.
I think the average everyday people, unless it's something drastically different than what they're used to, like the
Mm-hmm.
familiarity in terms of buying, adding it to the cart and the cart view and the checkout, if you press checkout.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's vastly different, then no, because that's a Shopify. Most people are familiar with it. They
Mm-hmm.
won't feel distrust in terms of paying for it. But
Yeah,
trust in the product itself is a different story.
yeah, yeah. That's where they lose. I believe like the whole checkout security experience. They may have it in the bag
Yes.
because it's implemented,
Yes, sir.
but in terms of security overall, like I don't think that these claims here would be real, especially after that review and the answer that we saw.
Yeah. They should have put like a link for each one to go into detail on their return
Yeah,
policy.
let's see if there is something in the footer about that. Men's, women's.
Yeah, they have shipping in the middle and
Okay, shipping
warranty
policy.
and results. I mean,
Okay, European Union Standard Express. Okay, the information is here, but it's not easily accessed.
accessible. Like
Yeah,
most business owners would know that it's important, those return policy, shipping information,
absolutely.
but they don't realize a lot of customers or visitors won't go to your footer to find
Hmm.
it. So you want to make it easy for them to access. So that's very important.
I think they know. Don't try to
Uh,
defend them because they are also buyers. Come on.
yes, but I would argue don't know because
If
if
you're in the business for that long, you're selling that much, and you have that many reviews, you know you're the people ask for this. You know people are sending you every time an email. How long does it take for my return to come? Da 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 da.
yes, I think they know that, but they don't know that it needs to be visible and quick access on that side. So I
Okay.
would say like they know certain part and how to, but they don't know that finer UX
Mm,
that it needs to be easily accessible, accessibility, etc., etc. They don't
okay.
know that part, but they do
Mhm.
know that returns are important. It needs to be on the website. It needs to give some care to it to sell.
I think it was probably part of the team as well.
Yeah,
For
if a studio design, no, I think it was a theme designer or not.
mm,
Yeah, they bought the theme, but a lot of business owners don't know how to use the theme properly.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, the sixth point is convenience. Are you making the experience overly complicated? You answered this question.
Um, it's it's very distracting, so I would say it's not convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Convenience is clear. I should not even think about the design. If I go to a website, I see the image, I see a value proposition, I see the product, I press it's like, oh, I'm interested. I look at the product, I browse the image. That's how people evaluate. If your images are really good, there's a lot we can talk about product image, like what
Mm-hmm.
type of image to use, and depending on your brand. And if you show the image, a lot of people would make decision based on that, but a lot of people need additional information and they'll read your product description. That's important. They go to the return policy. That's important. They look at
Mm-hmm.
the price, how it's presented, what it is, all affect perception. It's a
Yeah.
lot of details, and all of those needs to be there. And
Mm-hmm.
people cannot think about them. It should feel unconscious, and they say, "Oh, I like this product. I see all the image. I read the description. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy it. Maybe I don't buy it. Maybe I'll come back later." But
Yeah.
I would say the design is not convenient at all.
Okay.
Much just
Basically, what we want from the design is to give us all the answer right there and then. So that would be very convenient to answer the most important questions for certain products, and then for me to be very easy to just make the decision to buy and continue. But even if you do have the information, like here, whatever this is,
product
if it,
description.
yeah, if you don't make it easy for us to scan it, we will definitely not read it. Okay, the last one is confirmation. Is your website optimized to get people to come back and buy from you again? What do you think?
The first impression isn't there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can make. There's a lot of example of luxury brands out there you can check out. I do recommend business owners, even if you're watching this, like go to high quality website and notice their first impression. You'll notice
Mm-hmm.
it's very good. The image are high quality. Um, everything is on point. They have a bespoke imagery, and everything is good. So they make that good first impression. And that you
Mm-hmm.
want to make that if you want people to come back. Like I gave the example of Allbirds. So if you go, I don't know if you could show the Allbirds,
Alberts?
all. and then
Like
birds.
this?
No, all and birds.
Ah,
All,
all birds.
yes,
Okay. EU?
yeah. Uh, I mean, yeah, you can just press EU, right?
Oh,
So they
look
make
at
such a
that.
yeah. Also, their hero section always change with the season, so it's really good.
Mhm.
So each season, if you go there, or maybe when they have a new product to show, they show it at the top, and you can
Yeah.
see that this is very branded image, that the model is
Protected
branded. Yeah,
by nature. Look what they do with just three words
yes.
and four images.
Yeah, you can tell
Like,
that they're a sustainable brand. Their product looks high quality, and you are interested into learning more and scroll.
mhm,
This brand is what made a really strong impression on me, and that's why I bought from them and
mhm.
returned from them. And yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
a perfect example if you want to learn about a successful e-commerce website.
And this is the price that you should aim for 140, 155. Remove those decimals. And I think maybe it's because it's euro, but still, I
Yeah.
don't think even
No,
if it's.
in the US they have straight price. Like their website's like $100.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, because that's what I bought the shoes for. So it's like precise. There's no decimal to it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think here they change automatically to my region without even giving me the option to see the dollars. So
Let me see.
I guess the conversion is making the price like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the price is straight. So I see one shoes is like 120, nothing
Mm-hmm.
else. And
Okay.
yeah, they're
But
a
maybe the
perfect
conversion.
example of high quality website.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
highly recommend everyone checking them out, especially if you sell online. You can learn a lot
Okay.
from them.
Now you got me. Like, see, you talking good things about a company.
Yeah, I would recommend them for anyone looking for shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Their shoes is really good.
Are they
They have
also
me as a
waterproof?
customer forever.
Are they
Even
also
though
waterproof?
yeah, I think some of their shoes are waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
If you press on it, you'll see how they communicate it.
Yeah.
I think we're going over time. I don't know how much.
Yes.
It's been
Yes,
almost
yes,
2
yes.
hours. Sheesh.
Yes, almost 2 hours. We're done basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will just wrap it up in a second.
They have
So how
size
they
chart.
present it? Mm-hmm.
Mhm,
They have the sizes, the colors, and they have the details here.
mhm.
Best everywhere, strolling to the office after party. See, they're telling a story. That's what I like.
Travel in the world. That's exactly.
Yeah.
I was traveling when I was buying those shoes when I went.
Yeah. But here where they make a connection with the actual buyer behind the screen.
Mhm.
This is where they get us.
They talk about sustainability,
Yeah.
size and fit. All the detail people need is right there.
We can do actual new live stream based on a good brand for e-commerce next time, and you will be the host.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
How about that?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time. Yes, we did go way over time, like
Yeah,
53
I think we
minutes.
need a summary.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would advise everybody who watches the stream later and right now to submit more websites that we can do tear down over. I can do them myself or with you, the one who submits the website. Depends on how you feel about it. And thank you so much for taking the time, Mauro. And for the business owners of the websites, the if you don't know them, the better. We were quite harsh, me particularly, because that's my job, and I have no problem calling businesses out. So even my website is not very user friendly, to be honest. It needs lots of work. So I do try to do what I preach, but still, it's a lot of work. And if you have anything to say, Mauro, now is the time where people can find you, and what do you do once again?
yeah. I would say I was a bit harsh. Usually, I soften my tone and how
Mm-hmm.
I say things because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very people person. I know how people
Mm-hmm.
receive information, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to be careful how you say stuff. But
Yeah.
the critique is meant to help a business. And as a sustainable brand, I like to see sustainable brand win. So although I was harsh, take it as advice for improvement. And I said a couple of things. If everything that I said can provide research or
Mm-hmm.
sources, or you can ask me for clarity. I'm always
Mm-hmm.
open to ask to answer any question. If you need clarity on anything, I can go into more detail. And yeah, e-commerce is my specialties, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn. And I think you mentioned the link is below. You'll find my
Everything in the
website. And
description. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's it.
Thank you so much, and see you in the next one. Bye
All right.
bye.
Perfect day. Bye.
Don't go, don't go. I'm just ending the stream.
Oh, okay. Good.
I hope it did end now.